Okay, let's see how this goes. Where do I even kind of want to... Hello? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my keyboard channel, and my beard is catching my microphone. Let's see if that's better. Welcome back to my keyboard channel. It's been only like 2 or 3 days since I last no, it's gotta be like a week. It's gonna be like a week since I last posted a video. So I felt like today would be a good time to probably give you an update or give you a new video finally regarding a keyboard, because I am a keyboard channel. Last time I filmed a video on my Canon Rebel T2i, and guess what? I'm filming on it right now. But yeah, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the oh so popular 8Bitdo retro Xbox mechanical keyboard. Insert wow sound effect here. This keyboard, where do I begin? It is such a cool keyboard. To give some background, I am a big fan of translucent green things. When I was a kid, we had a Nintendo 64 that had one of the translucent green controllers. I'll put a picture of the three of them together. And I loved that controller. I played mostly on that thing. So that way, when I was an adult, I purchased an Xbox controller shell that was also the green translucent. So now I have a green translucent Nintendo 64 controller, a green translucent Xbox controller, and now a green translucent Xbox keyboard. It doesn't get much better than that. So there's a lot of different things I want to talk about with this keyboard, but first of all, I just want to praise its sound profile. Lots of the keyboards that I have are very kind of like thocky or clacky keyboards, not so much the clicky or the older sounding keyboards. Just to give you a quick sample, this is my Yunzi AL71. Big fan of this keyboard, but because of its structure and its casing that's made out of aluminum, it just has a different sound profile. The sound is mostly captured by the casing, and you only hear so much of the switch and the keycap that you have on it. Whereas with your Xbox Retro 8Bitdo mechanical keyboard, you're rocking a more, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like empty. Your case is a little bit emptier, and you are using an aluminum plate. With the clicky switch, it sounds more like this. And that just brings me back way long. I mean, I'm not that old, but this definitely does a better job at capturing the retro of mechanical keyboards, and it's in the name. So I'm a huge fan of the sound profile that this keyboard boasts. Right, so let's get into some specifics on this keyboard, some specific features. You have tri-mode connectivity, which means you can connect via Bluetooth, or you can connect via USB-C cable, and you can also connect via the 2.4 gigahertz dongle. The USB port is at the center of the back of the keyboard. It's not a big deal to me. I typically like them to be on the left side, just because I have one of those coiled cables, so it's kind of adds to the aesthetic for it to be on the left side, so it coils to the right. But the coiled or regular USB-C cable works just fine. It's the box. In the box, it comes with a nice, good build cable as well. So not a huge deal there. So you boast the 3-mode connectivity. You have the Xbox button in the top right corner of the keyboard. For gamers, that's really nice because that opens up your game bar on a Windows PC if you're using it there. I haven't seen what it does on an Xbox yet. I haven't connected it to an Xbox to even see if it's compatible, which if it wasn't, that would really suck. But just by a press of a button, you can access your game bar, see which friends are online, see what game you want to play, screen record, all that fun jazz. That just makes that really easy. And aside from that, you really don't have a whole lot else. You can use the Xbox 8Bitdo Ultimate software to program some certain keys to do different things. You can also program the 2 buttons that come along with it to do different things as well. Unfortunately, those buttons aren't backlit like the rest of this keyboard. But there's some options that you have to kind of spec it out to really what you want it to be. To be more specific on the keyboard itself, let me pull up the website here. You are boasting, I know all this stuff already, I just want to make sure I don't say it wrong. You're using double layered ABS. I'm not sure if that's the same thing as double shot, but I'll close in on the arrow keys. You can kind of see that the backing kind of comes below where the rest of the key sits. It's kind of above, so it has kind of like a depth effect. I only have to assume that that's what double dipped means. Double layered. But the coating on the green keys itself, I don't really have any worries about that coming off. It seems pretty robust and pretty sturdy. So over time, I feel like this keyboard can go through a lot of use and your keys will still have that green color while maintaining the letters on top. Aside from that, the keys are like a translucent green, not quite opaque. So that provides for some nice backlighting options that you have. Typically, I leave mine on the yellowish greenish color just because I think that brings the keyboard's color out a little bit more. Whereas if you use colors like red or blue, trying to shift the rainbow down the keyboard, it just doesn't pop as much. And the green color is to blame for that. I mean, you shine a flashlight through a green piece of paper, it'll look a little green. That's just how it goes. But it does have such a unique look to it that I don't mind that at all. I don't mind using just the yellow and the green forever on it. It boasts an aluminum plate. So typically with mechanical keyboards, I think I have this right, but you have your PCB. If it's a hot swappable PCB, it means you can take the switch out and put a new switch in. So that changes the feeling of the typing or the sound profile overall. And on top of your PCB sits a plate. A plate is basically like a guide for those switches to go in properly, and it's kind of a housing so that they don't shift around. Most keyboards feature gasket mounted plates to help with sound absorption and disposal so it doesn't sound so clingy. I don't think this one is a gasket mounted. I think it's top mounted, so it just goes right on top versus having a gap. But your plate is aluminum, so that helps create a little bit of the retro sound profile to the keyboard. For example, like I showed this one before, I think this one has a polycarbonate plate, I want to say, and it just has a way different sound profile. Obviously, this has some foam in there to kind of dampen it too, but with the aluminum plate, you just don't get as much of that dampening, which is good for the sake of maintaining some of that retro era style to this keyboard. It helps create a little bit more of the echo and maintains that sound profile a little bit better as you're typing along. It is a hot swappable PCB. I've already put TTC brother switches in this keyboard. Those basically feature a little bit of silicone dampening on the bottom so it doesn't have such a loud bottom out while maintaining a clicky sound. I switched them out for the purposes of this video, of which I'll leave a sound profile at the end. But aside from that, I just love the aesthetic. I love the colors, the feel of it. Let's get to pricing. If you look at 8Bitdo on Amazon, you can probably get the NES version of this keyboard right now for only $89 or $95. This keyboard costs a whopping $120. That's a lot of money to pay for a keyboard. But if you've come to a keyboard reviewer who says he has 15 keyboards, I've had that thought before and I bought it anyway, and that's a problem and I should address that. But I think the aesthetic that I get out of it is just way too freaking cool. I mean, it boasts the 10 keyless functionality with all your function keys with the insert, home, page up, page down, all that jazz. And it just is like a desk queen. It just makes everything else look, so small in comparison to it. It's such a cool keyboard. Eventually, I think this thing will go on sale. It's just so new right now. It's their newest model that I don't think they're going to put on sale for a little while. And it's also a really sought after SKU as well. But I originally pre-ordered it for $120, canceled the order because I was like, I don't need to buy this right now. And then I eventually caved and made the purchase. And on top of that, I bought the mouse. But I think it is a great product for the price. Maybe what we could see a little bit more of out of them is making the software a little bit more usable. They did update from V2 to V3, and that helped, because in V2, when you wanted to press OK, it was sure. It wasn't okay. It was like, do you want to change your profile? Sure, not okay. Or profile set, thank you. It was sure, not okay. They switched that, but I kind of liked that because it added a little bit of character to it. But the new software is easy enough to work with. You have to USB the keyboard straight to the computer. I've found that it doesn't really work through docking stations, so you have to just wire it straight to the computer. Not a big deal. Overall, the keyboard is great. It has a great build quality. I've seen a few YouTubers mod this thing, and basically you have to pull off the silicone feet and take some screws out, and then you have to get prying tools to pry the case open. With full plastic, I'm not a big proprietor of doing that, but if that is something that you guys all want me to try out, I can try it out and see how it goes. But mark my words, it's just trying it out. It's not completely doing it. Although I might eventually completely do it. So as in terms of a follow-up for this video, I'm gonna find some time to put the TTC switches back into this, and I'll create a comparison video between what it sounds like now with these stock jellyfish switches from Kailh versus the TTC Brother. The TTC Brothers are nice. They kind of provides a little bit more muted of a sound profile. It stopped filming. Why would it stop filming? All right, well, this ending's gotta be quick because my Canon camera is dying on me. I should have saw that coming. But this is a great keyboard. If you have any thoughts about modding it, or if you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment, and please subscribe, like these videos. These things are expensive, and I know I'm the one that spent the money prematurely, but it's to bring you guys great content like this. So hit that like button, and if you would subscribe, that would be legit. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.